My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. Yo, y'all already know, yo. I'm about to give y'all the dopest topics that I'm going to talk about on this episode. Because it's a quarterback that just got paid, Doug. And, woo! I wish it was my quarterback, you feel me? Man, it's a team in the NBA that got fined. And honestly, I don't even think they should have been fined, in my opinion. But I'm going to give y'all my opinion on that. And then it's a head coach out here. Name is starting to buzz a little bit for a couple jobs. I'm going to give you my opinion and do I think he fits on there. And of course, I got to give y'all the update of the NBA playoffs. You feel me? Because it's been a little bit of dramas. And I think it's time to get some brooms out on for some teams. You feel me? But enough talking. Let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
Alright, yo, if you don't know, Doug, you're about to find out. Jalen Hurts just got a nice, healthy contract extension from the Philadelphia Eagles, man. This contract is now 5 years, $255 million. Woo! Good grief. And $179.304 million guaranteed.
Oh my God!
That's not even a kicker. He also in this trade, in his contract, he has no trade clause.
Oh my God!
Which means he can't be traded unless he wanted to. You feel me? If the Philadelphia Eagles feel like they want to move on from him, it gotta be up to him. So, man, that is a nice contract. Like right now, he is the highest paid player in NFL history right now, and that's what's up. Philadelphia did something right, something that I wish my guys would have did, man, during this time when LJ was up for this contract. You feel me? But the Philadelphia Eagles was like, hey, we seen enough. We know what we have, and let's go ahead and extend them because what Jalen Hurts did for the Philadelphia Eagles, man, it's hard for him to do. And not to mention that he didn't even play a full season. He played through the playoffs a little bit hurt too. So you know what? Before I even get deep to that, man, let's give a round of applause to Jalen Hurts, man, because he most definitely deserved that, man. In his 3 years with Philadelphia, he has thrown over 7,906 yards. He has 44 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and he's a 62% completion rate. He has one Pro Bowl, and he has one first team All-Pro. So shout out to Jalen Hurts one more time. Because like I said, in his first 3 years, man, he did a lot of stuff that like a lot of things that quarterbacks couldn't really accomplish in their first 3 years. Even though I believe he could have got MVP this year too. I believe if he didn't get hurt during the end of that season, man, I think he would have been this league year MVP, man. So Jalen Hurts is most definitely the quarterback of the future for the Philadelphia 76ers. But while we still giving out these big round of applause and shout outs, man, let's give a big shout out to Nicole Lynn. That is his sports agent. And if y'all don't know, man, she is a female sports agent that has been knocking down doors ever since she got into Clutch Sports. And like I said, she finally knocked down a door, man. She got won the largest deal by a female agent. And not to mention, man, she is a black African American queen who did that, man. So that was the dopest part of the whole situation, that because like I told y'all during Black History Month that Nicole Lynn needs her flowers now, because I already seen the potential of what she was going to be able to do and what she can be able to accomplish in this agent world. And getting that type of a contract, that's exactly how you do it. You feel me? So like I said, shout out to Nicole Lynn, man. So give her another round of applause. But let's talk about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, it was a great move. I think the Eagles knew what they wanted and saw what they wanted in Jalen Hurts, and it was like we not letting him slide, not one little bit. You feel me? So what that puts Eagles in position of they have their quarterback in the future. You feel me? They have their franchise quarterback, their face of the league, right? I mean, the face of their franchise right now, and that's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles needed was a franchise quarterback. It's been a long time coming since, in my opinion, since Donovan McNabb. They've been in and out having different quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong, Michael Vick was a good successor after Donovan McNabb, but it was only a short spell of Michael Vick. You know what I mean? So I think in this short spell that we've seen in Jalen Hurts, we see that what his ceiling could be. Can the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl? It's a possibility. Their chances are a little bit higher than normal than other teams right now, other than the Chiefs, because they still got Patrick Mahomes. But I can tell you right now, it's a better chance than what my guys have right now. And speaking of my guys, that really put some heat on us. You feel me? Because like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles has already shown that this is who we want. And the Ravens keep saying to LJ, this is who we want. But at the same time, they can't even make a deal. But like I said, if the Ravens would have did what the Eagles just done a couple years ago, signed him to a nice healthy deal, we wouldn't be in this predicament. So Philadelphia said we're not going to be in the same predicament as the Ravens. So they locked that guy up, and I've been seeing reports. I don't really get into the rumors and all that. They saying that Ravens is willing to offer Lamar $200 million fully guaranteed. But like I said, I just keep back to reality until I see it's official. Until I see that LJ puts it on his on his Twitter, on his stories somewhere. I'm not gonna believe the hype. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into the rumors, but at least Philadelphia don't have to go through the pain that us Baltimoreans going through right now, man. But Jalen Hurts, man, he's most definitely going to keep Philadelphia in Super Bowl contention. Most definitely in the playoff contention, because now I believe in that division he is the best quarterback in that division. No disrespect, sorry, Locked In Sports, but we had kind of talked about this. That I don't really believe that Dak is that guy. And
you're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
That took a little while, but honestly, that's how I really feel about Dak Prescott. You're not that guy. It's like you can see the potential in Dak, but at the same time, you just be like, "Oh, why have you taken that next step yet?" We should be having these conversations about you being one of the elite quarterbacks, not just an average Joe. You know what I mean? So I believe that Philadelphia has the better quarterback over Dallas. Washington, they really don't have no quarterback right now. To be honest, to edge them over anybody, they got Jacoby Brissett and Sam Howell. Really shows no threat, man. No disrespect to either one of these quarterbacks, but you just no threat in that division. And Danny Dimes, he just got paid. So and it's like almost to the point that Danny Dimes is sitting there right where Dak Prescott is. He just got a nice deal. Now if Danny Dimes can go back to back playoffs, take the Giants to the playoffs again, and can go further than with Dak in the playoffs, it's a possibility that Daniel Jones could be the number 2 quarterback in that division. So Dak Prescott, sorry, man. I'm not showing you no love right now. I understand, but Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback in that division. And right now, I don't really see nobody's going to change that way. Now, it's putting Jalen Hurts into the conversation now is where's he ranked in the quarterbacks now. And to my opinion, you can now put Jalen Hurts top 10 quarterback. You know what I mean? You can put him in there with the Patrick Mahomes. You can put him in there with Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Um, um, did I say Justin Herbert? I feel like I did. You can put him in that conversation, and you can kind of put him over top of some of those quarterbacks. You can put him in there with the Russell Wilson. Maybe not the Russell Wilsons yet, because Russell still got that Super Bowl over top of him, but he's almost in that conversation there where he can be talked about with those one-time Super Bowl champs. You feel me? Like the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilsons and who else is a one-time quarterback? Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean? I believe that Jalen Hurts can be almost talked about in that conversation because we can talk about Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow being in that conversation too. Joe Burrow, led his team to a Super Bowl appearance. Lamar Jackson has an MVP underneath his belt. You know what I mean? And that's where Jalen Hurts sits at. You feel me? Now he's not up there with the Patrick Mahomes yet. Patrick Mahomes right now is kind of sitting in his own class right now. Now that Tom Brady has retired, so it's safe to say that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in this league. Top five, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a possibility, but I'm not going to rank him just that high yet. He still got some more wins to get underneath his belt, some more Pro Bowls to get underneath his belt. And just more. I need to see more out of him. But most definitely, he's the top 10 quarterback, and he just got paid for being a top 10 quarterback. You feel me? So shout out to Jalen Hurts, man, once again. And shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles for knowing what they want to do and seeing what the quarterback that they have in the future. You feel me? Because Jalen Hurts ain't no slouch. It ain't no slouch, and I most definitely don't see him wanting to trade from Philly because, like I said, Philly most definitely put key pieces around him. That's why they brought in AJ Brown. That's why they drafted Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? And I believe they're a little depleted in the running back. They lost Miles Sanders, but I think you can replace him in the draft, maybe, or maybe in the free agency. Zeke is out there. I'm not saying Zeke should be your every down back, but what I mean, if you're looking to get that ground and pound and them short touchdowns, Zeke most definitely can be that guy. You feel me? So, pretty much that's all I have about Jalen Hurts and this new contract, man. Like I said, man, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. That deal is real big that it touched down here in Baltimore. You feel me? So, Ravens, let's try to lock out God, man. I don't want to go into no draft. I don't want to go to find nobody else to trade. Let's lock up LJ right now. You seen what the money could be, LJ. Stop being foolish right now, man. I'm not saying take a low. Don't take nothing lower than Jalen Hurts, but most definitely be in that ball figure. You feel me? Try to get that 180. Try to get that 185. You feel me? Something in that nature. We need LJ. Oh man, let's switch the topics, man. Let's go to the NBA.
Let's go.
All right. To you Dallas Mavericks fans, particularly my girl Lise from Locked In Sports. Dallas Mavericks was fine. And they was fined $750,000 for arresting players their last game of the season. To me, I think the NBA was kind of petty. It's just my opinion because number one, when the Mavs had put their best players out there, they wasn't winning.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
No, I'm just saying. But when they brought in Kyrie from that trade, I believe that they only won not that many games. Just enough games that you can almost count on your hands.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like they went from the 4th or 5th seed before the trade deadline to the 11th seed, something in that nature, and with their best team, their so-called best team, with the Luka and the Kyrie and the Christian Wood and the Tim Hardaway Jr. and the Reggie Bullock and the White Powell, all this with that team, it wasn't all that good. You know, they wasn't all that good. So the NBA, I just gotta ask one question:
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
because I'm not understanding what did you see the last half of the season that you have to find this team. There's teams out here that was tanking throughout the whole damn season. San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I mean? It was a couple other teams that was I'm pretty sure that didn't really look that competitive all season from the tip off of the season until the end of the season. Wasn't very all that interesting, and you decided to go ahead and find the Dallas Mavericks. And like I said, now I believe that the fine really came because Jason Kidd really couldn't answer the questions at the press conference where they had asked Jason Kidd, how come such and such is not playing and why this and why that, and he was pretty much like, I'm just doing what I was told. You know what I mean? And when you look at that, you just look at Jason Kidd like. So, I guess the NBA felt like they had to investigate, but doesn't matter what the Dallas Mavericks put out there. They still was not going to make the play-in. Still wasn't going to make it. Because, it was rumors that Luka was having troubles on and off the court. Now, what those troubles was, I don't know. I just think one of them was most definitely because that the Dallas Mavericks wasn't competitive. Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks didn't put the best team out there, in my opinion. Why are you starting Dwight Powell over Christian Wood? What was the whole reason you traded for Christian Wood last year then? Why is Dwight Powell over JaVale McGee? What was the reason you going to the free agency and getting JaVale McGee? Like, I'm really not understanding. So I just felt like the Mavericks was struggling. Period. They was having a hard time. They never really had an identity. Luka was pretty much doing everything, and Luka needs help. We've seen that he needed help last year in the Western Conference when he was going against the Golden State Warriors. It was like, help me. That's exactly what he was saying. Help me. He needs help. And Mark Cuban, for being one of the top owners, you didn't go get him no help, man. And I'm not understanding why you didn't get that man no help. Like, no disrespect to Kyrie, but Kyrie was not going to be the savior. Kyrie wasn't going to be the answer. And then you only rent Kyrie for just half of the season. There's no guarantee you that you was going to get Kyrie back. So, I just didn't understand. I understand, like, yes, bring Kyrie because Luka need help and he can take that load off the offense. But you gave up a nice key piece in that trade. Like I said, I understand it's not the greatest names of all time or anything, but once you gave up Dorian Finney-Smith, that was your defender right there. That was your three in the corner. That was the guy that you could send on him to match up against your top ball handler, your top star of the opposing team, and you trade him away. And the Brooklyn Nets don't even really use him right. So it was just like, what was going on here? And I understand that, the trade gets deeper. You know what I mean? It's also because of Spencer Dinwiddie, popping off at the mouth, getting all that money down in Dallas and not really doing nothing, not being no help. Talking about, I understand that he didn't want to come off the bench. But you playing side by side with Luka, it's the same thing. Y'all both ball dominant. Y'all both ISO type players. Don't get me wrong, Luka can dish it out for assists, but that's any guard can. Any guard can dish it out to assists, especially when you get trapped. But, when you got two ISO players, it's not going to work. And that's why it didn't work for Kyrie also. I understand Kyrie is like to play the shooting guard at times, and I totally get it. But at the same time, man, it's not even my team, and it kind of stressed me out. But the NBA, man, I think you could have took your your time somewhere else. I honestly think that doesn't matter if Dallas would have put their best team out there. I just I just think that Dallas was already defeated. It was already over with. Didn't matter who you put in, they was still going to lose. They wasn't going to make it to the play in. They shot themselves in the foot. It was over. The fat lady has sung. So I understand that Mark Cuban and Dallas Mavericks is probably not going to appeal because I also seen that Mark Cuban was going to match that 750,000 and he was going to donate it to charity. So I guess that's what's up, you know. But it just bothered me. It's just so many other teams that was tanking and trying to get this guy, Victor. I don't want to mess his name up. From France. Everybody's sitting here trying to get this guy, and who's to say that he's going to do good over here? Rudy Gobert ain't do too good over here. He ain't doing too good over here.
Oh my God!
But I'm gonna move on. Let's get to the next topic. So let's go.
Let's go.
All right, man. Let me tell y'all, this one coach in particular is making some buzz. One team's trash, another team treasure it could be. Ime Udoka, as we all know that the Boston Celtics has suspended him and pretty much fired him. And moved on to their coach now with Joe Mazzulla. I believe that's his name. Sorry if I got his name wrong. But now Udoka, Coach Udoka is now getting some buzz from two particular teams right now: the Houston Rockets and the Toronto Raptors. And the reason why for the Toronto Raptors, if y'all didn't know, that Nick Nurse has been fired. Toronto Raptors is ready to move on from Nick Nurse, and I believe that Nick Nurse most definitely will find another job soon. I believe Nick Nurse is a dope coach. He got a championship. He brought Toronto from a bottom team to a top team, even though it was for that 1 year. But they got to the championship. But also, he had Toronto Raptors competing in at least the play-in and playoffs. So I most definitely believe that Nick Nurse will get a job. But we ain't talking about Nick Nurse right now. We're talking about Coach Udoka. And I believe that the Rockets and the Raptors both should go out here and try to recruit Coach Udoka. I believe if they can overlook and see all of that BS that he was dealing with in Boston, I believe that Coach Udoka can be a next great coach because, like I said, he had led Boston to the finals last year. He already proved that he belongs in the league. He already showed in just that 1 year that he can be a high commodity. You feel me? And he also can show you in that 1 year that he also can be a little something else. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about him being a coach though. And let's talk about the Houston Rockets fit first. I believe that it would be a good fit for Houston Rockets down there because he has two young stars down there that needs to be pushed and needs to be guided into a great direction. And this is not no disrespect or no slap in the face to Coach Silas, who got relieved from the Houston Rockets job. I believe he did what he could down there, and and I think that Houston didn't put enough around him to be successful down there. And he did the best he could. You know what I mean? It was times that Houston showed that potential, but it also shows that Houston didn't have that maturity, that growth to finish out games. Because it was like it wasn't the start of the games. Because Houston, some of the games I did see from Houston, wasn't the start of the game. The start of the game, they was able to, balance it out. They was hooping. But then after that halftime, it was just like watching the street ball game. And I think that's where Houston most definitely was failing at, and maybe that's where Coach Silas really couldn't be that's not where he was proficient in. He might be a great X's and O's coach, but to actually do the in-game adjustments and stuff like that, maybe that wasn't his strongest strength. So Coach Udoka, I believe that he will be a good fit. I believe that he can create identity with two stars, with Green and oh man, I can't forget the other guy name. Dang. But it's two stars down in Houston, just like he had two stars up in Boston with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. I believe that he can kind of culture those guys because he knows what it's like to have two uprising stars that both of them, because you can both of them can lead a team. I believe if Jalen Brown can lead Boston, I believe he can lead a team and be a star on a team. And if Jason Tatum leaves, which I don't think Boston should get rid of neither one of them, but I believe that even if Brown leaves, Tatum can still lead Boston. Probably not a top seed, maybe to a top 4 or 5 seed. And vice versa for Jalen Brown. I believe he can lead his team to a top 4 team, 4 or 5 seed, and you put those together and you get a number 2 seed. And I believe this is what Coach Udoka can come down here in Houston and show the same type of results down there. Now, I don't think Houston can make it to the finals or anything in that nature because, as we all see, that the Western Conference has juggernauts up there, and it's not going to be too easy just coming from a bottom team from the West and make it to the top. Look how long it took Sacramento. You feel me? So, but I do believe that Coach Udoka can give them my identity down there and start a culture down there. And I would like to also see Coach Udoka bring a bottom team and see what he can do. Can he be into a play in contention? Can he be a playoff team? And I believe if he goes to Houston, can at least make them to a play-in team. I'm not going to give them a solidified playoff team because they still will have to put some more key pieces around those young guys down there. I believe they need to find a true center down there that can run their offense and grab rebounds down there. I believe that you need some more veteran players down there to also, establish a culture to let them know, in games like to they veterans seeing what is it like to be down and seeing, the veterans have seen it all, whether it's good, bad, ups, down. I think you establish some good veteran leadership down there that also will bring Houston up, and I think that will be a good fit for him. Now let's flip it over to the Toronto Raptors. I believe that if he goes to the Toronto Raptors, that he will have a better team than what he would have in Houston. The Toronto Raptors, if they can keep this core together with Pascal Siakam, OG Wabinobi, what's the guy that's untouchable down there? Oh man, I'm just slipping names today. But you still got your Fred VanVleet, and you still got some good key pieces down in Toronto where they should have been in the playoffs, in my opinion. I really think they have a team that can make a playoffs, but I just think Nick Nurse had ran his course there. I think his philosophy and what he was building down there has kind of ran his course, and it's not bad on him. You feel me? It's just maybe the team is different, the atmosphere, the game has changed. His coaching philosophy probably doesn't fit the game. It could be multiple reasons why that Toronto wasn't as successful as they was previous years. You feel me? So it's not to go ahead and down Nick Nurse, but I think Coach Udoka can change that culture, establish an identity, because that's what most of these teams need. That's what Houston most definitely need, and Toronto maybe can need that. And then, like I said, they got a good core of people up there. And you got your guard player who can be a shooter in VanVleet. You got your Pascal Siakam who can be your star, your Doug, your everything for real, because he can shoot. He can go in the mid post. He can go into the post. Now I just need to see him play a little bit better on the defensive side and establish a defensive presence, which I think Pascal Siakam can do. But with those pieces that they have down there, I believe that Toronto just need a stronger coach that can put his foot down and show and make in game adjustments and be a leader. Because like I said, Toronto has everything that they need, but they just need a different leader that can bring it out of them. So I think Coach Udoka most definitely can go down to Toronto or up in Toronto and change and bring a different atmosphere and a strong atmosphere and lead Toronto into a playoff atmosphere. Because we already know, we've seen how Jurassic Park can get. All they need is something for them to cheer about. And I think Coach Udoka can give them that. So we most definitely got to keep our eyes and ears to this and see if Coach Udoka is willing to come back into the league, if Coach Udoka is going to get picked up by either one of these teams. You know what I mean? Because either one of these teams can most definitely look another way. But I just think that these two teams, while they have these vacancies, I believe Houston already reached out to Coach Udoka and was thinking about bringing him for interviews and stuff like that. Hopefully Toronto can do the same thing. Because that, like I said, it'd be most definitely dope if they could bring him in and he can come back into the league, because we need more black coaches in this league, man. And I believe that if Coach Udoka can get his act right, I guess you can say. Because like I said, I don't know what too in deep of what happened other than, he's messing with the female in Boston and, there's no fraternizing and stuff like that. If he can keep that under wraps and focus just about the game of basketball, Coach Udoka can be one of the best coaches in this game and in this league. You know what I mean? So I'm keep my fingers crossed that he do get another job in one of these teams, because I really do believe that he's a good fit for either one of these teams, or a good fit in the NBA period. So while we on the NBA, man, let's talk about this NBA playoff update.
Let's go.
All right, man. I can tell you right now, man, it's been some drama in this NBA right now, and one of the dramas is that Draymond Green had got suspended in game 3, which in game 2, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it by now, where Sabonis had grabbed Draymond Green's ankle. Draymond Green stepped on Sabonis and he got ejected, got thrown out the game, and now he's suspended. Well, he was suspended for game 3. But in my opinion, I don't think that Draymond Green should have got suspended. And y'all already know that I'm not even a real big fan of Draymond Green. After that whole Jordan Poole debacle, not a big fan of Draymond Green. But you know what I mean, I just think that he shouldn't have got suspended, because Sabonis grabbed that man around his ankle. What are you doing around his ankles? I understand you're trying to protect yourself while you're falling, but to literally grab somebody by their ankles, it's like, what are you trying to prevent? Now, I understand what he was trying to do. Probably he was trying, since he was down on the ground, he was trying to hold Draymond back so it won't be a 5-on-4 while he's on the ground. I get the whole strategy, but you know what I mean, you just got to understand that some of your consequences, you know what I mean, it's something that's going to happen to you. Listen to what Lil Shorty just said.
You freaking freaks! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
You grab that man's ankle, that was your action, and your consequences that you got your chest stepped on. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody was like, well, Dad, Draymond could have stepped over him, and they all could have been avoided and all that, but it all could have been avoided if Sabonis would have never grabbed his ankle. Like, plain and simple. It's like, it's not that hard. It's anywho, let's get Joy on this. Let's see what Joy has to say about this.
There's so many victims.
There you go.
This is playoff basketball, and I need everyone to take a big, deep breath. First of all, Sabonis is wrong. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You don't want your chest or your stomach stepped on by a giant man in Draymond Green? Don't pull on his ankle. That's why you got stepped on. I have no sympathy for him. Draymond, on the other hand, as everyone knows, the second guy always gets caught. Always. Always. And listen, you're in the right. I'm not going to protect myself from not hurting you when you're trying to hurt me. If your foot or your body is under my foot while you're grabbing it, you're getting stepped on. That's how it goes. But we all know the refs are going to throw out the guy who retaliates. The refs are going to punish the guy who retaliates more. It happens in all sports. That's how it works. Whether it's right or it's wrong, that's how it goes. You know that's how it goes. And when you're Draymond Green, you know you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt that this wasn't intentional. You're not going to do that. There are consequences to reputations as well. So is anyone wrong here? If I got to pick someone who's wrong, yeah, I'm going to go with Sabonis because he started it. Don't play. You want stupid prizes? Here's a stupid game for you to play. And that's what he did.
Here's why, though.
So I most definitely agree with Joy on that, man. Shout out to Joy on that. Like I said, I believe that really Draymond did this is because of, like I said, he has that reputation. He has to have that bad guy, that bad boy reputation. You know what I mean? He has to show you that you're not, I'm not no slouch. I'm not no chump. You're not going to just do this to me. You know what I mean? I'm the bully. I don't get bullied. And that's who Draymond is. You feel me? And I totally get it. But he shouldn't have been ejected. He shouldn't have been suspended. Ejected, yes, because he did egg the crowd on. He was sitting there amping the crowd up and chanting. And, you know what I mean? He showed that, like, yes, I did mean this. Yes, I intentionally stepped on this guy's chest. And we all know that you probably intentionally stepped on that guy's chest. You know what I mean? But like Joey said, when he grabs your ankle, so, hey, that's what happens. But at the same time, man, I just really think that Joe Dumars and the NBA executive really only did this because of who Draymond Green is and his reputation previous. Because here's another clip of what Joe Dumars had to say.
To be clear, if it was a different player with a different history, would he have been suspended here?
That's a possibility. Yes, that's a possibility that it could have been differently. You know, we look at each one of them when they come through, and we sit down and we pour through it. And yeah, Adrian and I had that conversation earlier, and I said that, like, it could be, it possibly could be for sure.
So it could be.
It could be. So you telling me, if LeBron would have did this, he would have got suspended? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. If Steph would have did this, would have Steph got suspended? Nah, I don't think so. Steph don't have that reputation. What about Dylan Brooks? Yes, I can see that. I can most definitely see Dylan Brooks getting suspended because he's starting to have that kind of a Draymond reputation also. What about let's see, who else? Grayson Allen, maybe, because he got a reputation also. It's like if you have a bad rep, I believe yes, you would get suspended. If you've never been suspended or have no bad rep about it, no, you're not going to get suspended. They probably would just go ahead and let you get ejected and got fined. You feel me? And here's another thing. Speaking of what fines has popped up, if we all know that Sabonis started it, how come Draymond was the only person that got punished? Why Draymond wasn't? Why Sabonis didn't get a fine? If you wasn't going to suspend Sabonis, why didn't he get a fine? Because we felt like that he was the victim. You feel me? So because now this play follows over to another game that happened just last night in the Brooklyn game, where Embiid kicked Nicholas Claxton and knocked him down, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. No ejection, no going to the booth, or none of that. It was pretty much play on.
Hold up.
Not understanding that. How is that possible? You know what I mean? Did the refs pull out this card?
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
Is that what it was? Is it just like what Shaq said, man? We have to really find a common ground. Find the rule of this. Why is one it's okay for one to do it and not the other. So it's just a lot. And I believe that the NBA most definitely going to have to take a look, see, and go into what is suspension, what is ejection, what is this rule? This is almost like the NFL catch rule. What is a catch? What's not a catch? Not understanding. And another topic that also happened, Chris Paul finally beat Scott Foster. Yes, he is now 1-13 versus Scott when Scott Foster is officiating his game. 1-13. So shout out to Chris Paul for finally beating Scott Foster, man. Now, is he really gonna get a ring now?
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
But let me give y'all some of the updates of what's going on in the NBA playoffs right now. Denver versus Minnesota right now is Denver is up 2-0. In my opinion, I think it's time to get the brooms for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really don't see the Timberwolves winning the game. I'm not going to give them a gentleman sweep. I think Denver's going to get them out of here quick, fast, in a hurry. Karl Anthony Towns is not showing why you should be one of the top big men in this league. I have not seen not one stat, one clip, or from ESPN or anybody to say that the cat is giving the Joker business. Not one. Not one. We seen Ant-Man drop 41, but we ain't seen Karl Anthony Towns or anything of that nature. So, man, I can tell you right now, man. Get the brooms out. Karl Anthony Towns.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
And you're starting to show me that you're not that guy. So, get the brooms out. Start sweeping them. The Suns and the Clippers. The Suns got a victory last night, and they, with Kawhi being out, now the Suns is leading the series 2-1. I said I had this series going 4-2. I'm gonna still keep it like that. I still believe that the Clippers can maybe pull out one game. Who knows when Kawhi is coming back? I doubt if Kawhi is coming back. We all know once Kawhi get hurt, it takes a long time for him to come back. So I really don't see him coming back this playoff. So I see the Clippers maybe getting one more win because the Clippers is deep. And the Suns after their starting five is like who else is on that team? You feel me? So I think that's what the Clippers can hold on of, and I think Tyronn Lue is a good enough coach to get one more victory out of that. But I still gonna see the Suns winning this 4-2. So I see that happening. The Kings and the Warriors. The Kings is up 2-1 in this. The Warriors got their first win last night without Draymond Green. The Warriors, what Steph say that Draymond might got history, and so do we. And they showed it that you can't keep a good team down. I don't care how good the Kings is playing or how pumped that the Kings think what's going to happen or what they thought was going to happen. But I can tell you right now, the Warriors is not going to let up. So, I got the Warriors winning that one 4-2. That means I don't see the Kings winning no more games now. I don't know. This series might actually go to 7 games in my opinion now. Saying that this team's got bad blood, and I'm pretty sure once Draymond gets back, this game is going to be hyped up in San Francisco. Oh man, woo! So, like I said, the Warriors got that one, but the Kings still leading that series 2-1. My Lakers and the Grizzlies. That series is tied up 1-1 right now, and you see that Dylan Brooks is calling out LeBron James, man, saying that he's not scared of that old man. Only way he's gonna be scared of that old man, he has to drop 40. Now, I don't know when is Ja Morant coming back or if he is going to try to make a comeback this series. And even if he do make a comeback, how good would he be? But the Lakers most definitely has to stop playing this in one game in, one game out, man. You can't with the Memphis Grizzlies, you can't play around. The Memphis Grizzlies has showed multiple times without Ja Morant, they are still a good team. I believe that they have a good coaching down there, and that's going to lead Memphis. But I still believe that the Lakers can still get it done. I still think the Lakers will beat this series. It's just like right now that the others, AD, D'Lo, I need y'all to show up. Beasley, I need you to show up. I need the whole roster showing up when it's time to play against this Memphis Grizzlies, man, because we can't be starting off that game, even though we were still in the game. We started off that game terrible, but we can't start off the game bad. We gotta finish. You feel me? So that's the West right now. Now let's talk about the East. Milwaukee and Miami's series is 1-1 right now. I had that series as a sweep at first, but I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I really don't see Miami actually winning another game. Because if Milwaukee is another team that also that they can use their star player, but they really don't need their star player really. Giannis can take the time to rest his back as long as he can, because I believe that with the team that the Milwaukee Bucks have can beat the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? And I hate to down Miami because I believe that Miami has a good okay team that I believe that it can at least give Milwaukee a little fight. But I just don't see it. If you couldn't beat Milwaukee without Giannis twice, that shows the concern. You know what I mean? It showed me that Milwaukee has a better team even without Giannis. So I think it might be a gentleman's sweep. It might be a 4-1 sweep in that series right there. The Cavs and the Knicks. Woo-wee! This series right here has been very interesting. Honestly, kind of my favorite other than the Lakers and the Grizzlies, of course. I'm being biased, you know. But the Cavs and the Knicks, their series is physical. It's you don't know which team is really gonna win at the end of the game, man. And honestly, I have found newfound respect for Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson, if I doubted you, I see why that Dallas needed you and Dallas should have went out here and got you. I see why New York put that money up to come get you, Doug. Like, whoo, man, you are that guy. In my opinion, man, he's showing me that. I see why the Knicks really went out there and got you. In my opinion, because the way your game, you is the bully. Like, he is bullying whoever, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, whoever they put on him. It's like he does the same thing. He goes straight down to that midi. It gives you body, a couple moves, and splash. And it's like it gives the Knicks, it gives Julius Randle some time off, because we haven't really heard about RJ Barrett this series. We haven't really heard about RJ Barrett this season. So, like I said, this series, I got this series. I said 4-2. I mistakenly on it. This series is going 7, unless something drastic happened, like injury to the Knicks or something like that. Because I still believe the Cavs can win this series. You know, but this is going to go down to a 7-game series, and I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks actually beat the Cavs, honestly, because like I said, that respect that I have for Jalen Brunson now, man, woo, that's what's up. The Sixers and the Nets. I think this is another series that let's get their brooms out. I honestly think that the Nets will get swept for the second year straight, man. And I like Coach Vaughn, and I like what he did with the Nets, even with when he had Kyrie and he had KD. When he lost them, he still kept the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs, not the play-in, the playoffs. You feel me? I believe he did a way better job than Steve Nash. I believe that he should have had this job before Steve Nash. I understand that Steve Nash is probably a better name because he had a better NBA career, but Coach Vaughn showed why his name honestly should have been maybe in there with the Coach of the Year. You know, I understand he probably wasn't going to win it, but for him to actually to keep the Brooklyn Nets with the team that with all what was going on. He kept them afloat. He kept them in the playoffs, and he just kept them. But sorry to say that I think he's going to have to experience eating some berm.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Because I just don't think they can have enough to beat the 76ers. I just think that Joel Embiid is that dominant presence that they just don't have enough. I don't think a big man can what they have on their roster is not going to be enough to go against Joel Embiid. I think a 4-year with Bridges and Dinwiddie and that nice core that they have coming in next year. Brooklyn is a team to still watch out for. Will they be a top 5 team or top 6 team? Yes, I believe so. Or they can, maybe can be in that playoff position. Like maybe that 5 or that 6. I mean that 6 or that 7 seed. But I think a 4-year because Mikal Bridges is showing that he's a star in this league. He's showing that he can lead a team if you give him the opportunity. And I think with a full off season and them coming together the next year, I think that the Brooklyn Nets should not have anything to put their head down other than just eating this brim. They about to get swept by the 76ers. So, and keep the brims going. They keep on sweeping the floor, man. Another team I believe is about to get swept too is the Atlanta Hawks. I think Boston is going to sweep them. I don't think Atlanta has enough in their arsenal to actually beat Boston. Boston has a way better team, way better coach, way better pretty much everything over there. And there's no disrespect to Trae Young, Deontay Murray, John Collins, Clint Capella, and the rest of that team. I just believe that once you lost Nick McDaniel and you went to Quinn Snyder, I really didn't see where it was the big change was coming from. You feel me? So I just think that Boston has the better team. And, Boston is on that hunt. They're trying to get back to the finals so they can see a Western team and showing that they can be a champion. And maybe if Jason Tatum can keep balling the way he's balling throughout this whole playoffs, man, he can get the recognition that he really needs. You feel me? So let's just see. But I just think Atlanta Hawks, you will be eating brims too.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
And man, before I wrap this episode up, man, let's give up some round of applause to, man. Let's give up to the coach of the year, Mike Brown, for the Sacramento Kings. Did one hell of a job, man. You most definitely deserve to be coach of the year. You turned that franchise around, man. The last time that the Sacramento Kings made the playoffs, man, iPhones wasn't even invented.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Sorry, PlayStation 3 was still out. It's a lot of things that happened, but going on some serious note though, you was able to turn that franchise around. And it's no better to have a black coach do it. So shout out to Mike Brown, man. What? Shout out to Mike Brown, man, for winning Coach of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Jarrett Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies. Shout out to him. I think it's most definitely deserved. He showed that his defensive presence is there. He's showing that he's a good rim protector. He can change shots, alter shots, and stuff like that, man. And it's good to see what he was doing down in Memphis because now, they got their offensive star in Ja Morant. It's like now if you can try to complement off each other, that Jarrett Jackson is your rim protector, and now you just got to learn how to stay out of foul trouble and be a little bit more assertive on the offensive end with Ja Morant. I think with Ja Morant athleticism and with Jarrett Jackson Jr., him being the defender that he is, the Memphis Grizzlies just gotta add just a little bit more, just something. Desmond Bane is a good shooter. Desmond Bane can continue to just his shooting can improve in it just a little bit. You got something. I think the Memphis Grizzlies can be that team to be scared about. But I can tell you right now, this year the Lakers ain't scared of them. So, another shout out to is the sixth man of the year and Malcolm Brogdon. Man, big shout out to him, man, because he's that guy that saved Boston, in my opinion. It changed Boston what they needed because last year I think Boston downfall was, there's no disrespect to him, is Marcus Smart. He's not your true point guard. He's not the guy that you will want to handle in late games. At times, can Marcus Smart do it? Yes, but I think that bringing in Malcolm Brogdon, a guy who's a true point guard and can handle the rock a little bit better, is what Boston had needed. Also they got Dirk White and man, I can't think of his name right now. I'm slipping names today, but bringing in Malcolm Brogdon kind of just gave them an edge over certain teams when it comes to having ball security and coming into late games, because Malcolm Brogdon was a rookie of the year when on his rookie season, so he knows how to handle the pressure and he knows what it takes, and I think that that's what Boston's going to need coming down at the late in games, somebody that can play defense also and can run the offense. And like I said, I'm not saying that Marcus Smart couldn't do it, but Malcolm Brogdon is the guy that most definitely can do it, man. And that we have it, man. And as always, man, I appreciate to everybody that's been tuning into MTMO podcast, man, and I love y'all, man. Like, there's no other way to say this, man, because without y'all, man, I wouldn't see the growth and where I could be and where I'm at now and where I'm going to be at, man. Without y'all, man, with promoting me and retweeting and reposting and actually subscribing to my YouTube page, man, is dope, man. I appreciate y'all, man. So make sure y'all go ahead and tell a friend who can be a friend, who could possibly be a friend, to come on also join this journey with me, man. Come on and help me get to my 1,000 subscribers to my YouTube page, because I'm on that road, you feel me? And the only way I can get there is through y'all, you feel me? So make sure you tell a friend who can be a friend that MTMO Sports Podcast is out here, and you can most definitely catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Newsly, but anywhere you can get your streaming platform, your podcast is from. Just make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and all that. You feel me? Make sure y'all follow my social media platforms. My Instagram at MTMO_sports podcast. It's going to give y'all what's going on in the sports world, what episode is coming out, little clips here, and all that. Like I said, it is a real dope Instagram that I really want y'all to follow. You feel me? Make sure y'all get my followers up on there too. Make sure y'all follow my Facebook and my Twitter account at mythtsmyopinion. Make sure y'all go follow. It's gonna give y'all the same thing as my Instagram. And make sure y'all, while I'm on the shout out spree, make sure y'all go follow my favorite ladies. Locked In Sports, man. Episode 13, Lucky 13, they like to call it. It's out right now. Make sure y'all go follow them, subscribe to them, and listen to them, man. Real dope podcast, man. I swear. I ain't gonna lie to y'all on that one. You feel me? Make sure y'all follow the Grid Network. You already know that's the home of the MTMO Sports Podcast, man. Make sure y'all go follow the Grid Network, man. It's a real dope network. I'm trying to tell y'all, all the podcasts that's linked into the Grid, man, it's dope. You know what I mean? We got your Mets, you got your Commanders, you got your General Sports Talk. You got me on here, of course. You got almost everything you need, and we just got MMA on there. So make sure y'all go out there and follow the Grid Network and follow all the podcasts that's down on that's underneath the Grid Network, man. Because like I told y'all, it's a dope network and it's my home network. You feel me? So make sure y'all go there. Make sure y'all Follow me on the Real Talk on the ASAP Network, also on Mondays and Thursdays. With me, Ray, and Kenny always kicking out ish on there, man, and speaking that real talk, you feel me? Make sure y'all go follow us on there. Make sure y'all go follow Opulence Radio, where my podcast is on there. They got me on Mondays, Man Cave Mondays, you feel me? And we got some other dope podcasts that's also on there. So make sure y'all follow Opulence Radio. Make sure y'all follow my guy Raw Uncensored Network and Raw Uncensored Podcast. Real dope guy, man. Real good content. Always speaking that garbage, but that's my guy though, man. But make sure y'all go ahead and follow him, man. And on the way, MTMO will have his clothing line that is on the way now, where you can get your shirts, you can get your hats. You know what I mean? Once I can get that, once it is popped up on the Grid Network website, I'm most definitely gonna be sending the link out to that. But until then, go to the Grid. I'm gonna post the link. Make sure y'all go to the Grid Network. Go to the website. It got some good clothing line. Get the Grid Network shirt. Get the hat. Get the podcasts that's underneath of them gears also. You know what I mean? Just come out here and help us support. You mean? You feel me? Help us grind. Help us grow. You feel me? And I don't think I'm missing anything else, or I ain't missing nothing else. So, as always, man, it's been a pleasure. And always, check me out.